Welcome back to the shop. I'm Kirk Anderson. In this week's video, I'm going to set up my Mortiser that I've had for quite a few years, but I don't use it that often. As I mentioned, I think I've only used it like 3 or 4 times. So every time I set it up, I have to go back to the manual to remember how to set it up. Now, with that being said, let me emphasize this. Whenever you're using any power tool, especially one that you haven't used in a while, make sure you read the operator's manual and understand it, and really understand the safety precautions. Now, let's get back to the Mortiser. What is a Mortiser? Well, basically, it's a drill press that drills square holes. Now, each Mortiser and each bit is a little different, so as I said, read the manual, read the instructions. Now, of course, the first thing we need to do is insert the bit. And the bit itself just goes into a drill chuck like you'd see on any drill press. And of course, it operates like any drill chuck that you would see on a drill press. Now, when you're cutting a mortise, you want it to be straight, so you need to set up the chisel so it's parallel with the fence. And then make sure you tighten down the locking nut to make sure it stays in that position. And the next thing to do is to set up the fence, so the workpiece will be in the correct location for when the chisel comes down. And then once the fence is in the proper location, just tighten the fence down. Most mortisers do operate the same way, but as I said, each one may have a little different things here and there. So make sure you read the instructions. Now, next thing to do is to set the depth of the mortise. And then you want to put the hole down onto the piece. Now, what this does, it prevents the piece from lifting up when you take the chisel out. But you don't want it down so tight that you can't move the piece. And now it's a matter of just cutting the square holes. Now, when you're cutting the mortise, kind of a rule of thumb is that you have the 4 sides of the chisel, and you either A, want to have all 4 sides being supported by wood as it goes down, or only 2 sides. You don't want to go down where the chisel is only being supported by 3 sides of the material. So the first thing I do is I cut holes and I space it out so it's a little bit less than a chisel's width away on each plunge. And then I go back where it's being supported only by 2 sides to take out the bridges. And that's how the Mortiser cuts square holes to make a mortise for a mortise and tenon joint. Well, I hope you got something out of this video. And if you did, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And as always, all you woodworkers out there, just get out there and cut some wood.